Hey, what's going on? Luke here, and it's been a little while since I've done any sort of videos talking about rugby league or playing the rugby league game, and there's good reason for that, and that's because the NRL season is over and done with. Now, I'll be honest with you, when the grand final was over, Penrith lifting the trophy, my initial thoughts, I think I even did a video like the day after or whatever, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm going to continue to make videos about the Pacific Nations tournament, whatever it's called, just the international games. I'm going to go over all of them. Plenty of opportunities to, you know, England, Australia, New Zealand, Tonga, Samoa, Fiji, all the others, PNG. Plenty of games to be played. But then I just realised I really don't care about international football. And I don't want to be the Debbie Downer here, but I guess that's kind of what I'm going to be. New Zealand beat Australia 30-0 in the final of the Pacific Nations. That's the thing, like, I couldn't even tell you what it's really called. General consensus online, and like everybody I think is somewhat secretly happy, even Aussies are kind of like secretly happy that New Zealand won, because it's nice to see someone new winning. However, let's not go too crazy. Like there's talks about this is the most embarrassing moment for Australian Rugby League. I just got done watching a Fox Sports little thing about it, and Breeny's on there. Ironic that Breeny's on there critiquing the Australian side. He seems to know all the answers and, you know, how embarrassing it is, yet doesn't say anything when New South Wales get towed up every year under his watch. Anyways, that's a whole different story, but yeah, I just thought it was ironic. But New Zealand obviously played fantastic if they win 30-0, but I'm not going to sit here and say I watched the game. I had zero intentions of watching the game. In fact, I didn't even know this was the final. I knew that Australia had played them the week before and won, and I thought, oh, that's pretty fitting. Seems right. I don't know. For me, I feel like the international game, they want to try and talk about it as like a growing market, but to me, there's no way it's a growing market. I have not seen one person that I generally would talk footy with, that, like, you know, I go to work and I talk to them, or even like, you know, family and friends, you talk to them, and I'm like the footy guy. Everyone comes to me and are like, oh, what do you reckon of such and such? Did you see such and such is signed? I'm the one they come to. You know how many people have came to me and wanted to talk about the international game? None, including with this win too. You might get like a random comment like, oh, geez, Australia lost, but realistically, I don't think anybody cared. Maybe like Kiwis, New Zealand, because it was in New Zealand, obviously they got the win. It does mean a lot for them. I think even like the other sort of nations, your Samoa, your Tongas, all that sort of stuff, I think it's a good sign for them, because it's like, Australia are beatable, we can beat them. However, England absolutely dominated their series. I feel like Samoa and Tonga, I think maybe their time, they had their little chance where they, you know, a lot of the top tier players started to go and play for them, and they looked good, and they were competing, and they were beating some of the bigger sides, but I feel like that has died down quite a bit. Therefore, I think the international game as a whole has died down a little bit. I mean, it's New Zealand, Australia, and England, and even then, like, Australia have lost, but it's kind of like, well, they played them 2 weeks in a row. I mean, they won the previous one. I know this was the final, but, like, does anyone really care apart from New Zealand? And that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about, because it is disappointing, because this should be some huge moment. It should be some, you know, breakthrough. It's Australia's biggest defeat in however many years, maybe even ever, I can't remember, but, you know, 30-0. It's not even like a close game. It's an absolute flogging. And the thing that the few people who actually watched it, they do say that New Zealand played well, but a lot of the talk is how bad were Australia, rather than New Zealand were absolutely amazing. And I just watched like the highlights and stuff, and it looked like New Zealand were attacking very, very well. But Australia just got beat by a team with Kieran Foran playing hooker, and New Brown coming off the bench. Like, even like Griffin Neens and stuff, like he stepped Nico Hines, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know if this done more for New Zealand, or if it's done more to kill a few international rep careers. I'm looking at guys like Nico Hines, who, you know, I was one of them who was like, all right, he surely gets a chance for New South Wales, and he didn't really get a chance, and I thought unfairly done. But, I mean, he's come on in the few games he has come on, whether it's New South Wales, whether it's Australia, they seem to chuck him on, and his defence just goes. He just can't defend. He's just not a good defender, and you need to be that in, you know, the rep level. So he got made to look absolutely silly, and I know there's been a lot of talk about, oh, well, they're already getting smashed anyways, but like that, you can't do that. You can't do that. You need to at least put in a good performance. He didn't. I know he's obviously not coming on and playing in like the number 7, but pretty much all the number 7s have come in and done that role that he's done, and they've done it well. And then they end up the number 7. Speaking of number 7, Cherry Evans, you know, a chance for him to kind of, I don't know, reclaim his spot. Kills it for Queensland for the most part. Then you have all the talk of him up against Cleary, and we can just chuck in anybody and they'd still win. Evidently not. No Nathan Cleary, no Australia. That's what it seems like, according to this game. You got Tedesco, who looks absolutely finished. I've sort of been a proponent of, send him out this year, let him sort of finish, but yeah, I think that's definitely what's happened. Dylan Edwards finally got an opportunity. I think it's safe to say a bit of a system player. Definitely shouldn't be playing on the wing. You got a guy who plays fullback week in, week out, and then you chuck him on the wing. Makes a lot of sense. I think Australia kind of thought they could just chuck anybody in any position and they'd still win, and they got away with it. Like, they were winning up until that point. And then New Zealand just came to play. They corrected everything they needed to do, and they got the job done, and they got the job done well. And just a well-oiled unit. They didn't even have Sean Johnson. They got Roger Tuivasa-Sheck coming back next year. So there's a lot of positives to take out of this. Not only did they win, Brandon Smith's another one, come back into the side. They have a lot of guys who can come into the side, and in my opinion, even improve this side. However, I will say Australia probably took the game lightly and thought, like I said, they can just chuck anyone in there. And now they're going to have a fire in the belly, you would hope. However, it's the international game. I don't think they really care, to be honest with you. End of the season, probably eyes on either next year or going on a holiday or something along the lines of that. So, yeah, I don't think they'll be too fazed by it. And I don't think they should be too fazed by it either. I don't think it's super important. It's not a World Cup. It's not a Four Nations. It's a tournament that literally nobody's talking about. I've had 0 comments, people being like, oh, I can't believe you're not doing videos on, Australia versus New Zealand and stuff. Generally, in previous years, that's what would happen. Oh, you're going to cover the Four Nations, you're going to cover the World Cup, you're going to cover this and that. But no, nothing this year. So it just showed you the interest, and I feel like they're trying to manufacture interest, and which they're trying to hype up the international game is growing. This is what I was sort of getting at, is it's all manufactured. It's not actually happening. Nobody cares. I don't want to say nobody, but majority of people do not care. The people online, obviously, they're going to be the ones posting about it. They're going to care to a degree, but you probably find a lot of them didn't even watch the game. But yeah, just general interest, looking around. I haven't had any chats. Usually after the grand final, I rang up my parents and talked about the game and, all my mates and all this sort of stuff. And for this, it's just nothing, just zilch, just nothing. No one even cares. Nobody probably even knows Australia lost. They kind of probably went, oh, they won last week. I think they saw that on the news. So was that the final? They're playing New Zealand again the week after. Weird. Yeah, just weird. I don't know. Weird concept, and it should be a bigger deal than what it is, but it won't be, and it will be forgotten by, already has been forgotten, let's be real. So, yeah, I thought I'd just give my thoughts on the game, and just the tournament as a whole. It's just, I don't know, good in theory, but it's just, you need to sort of get people actually interested first, and I don't think they are, and, some of the crowds that have been shown in, say, the England series and stuff, it's just, the international game is dead, and I talked about, NRL wants to throw this Hail Mary, let's go to Las Vegas and hope it solves everything and, grows the game internationally, but it doesn't. There's so many things that look so bad. I've talked to death about, the video game, even just, you look at the crowd and attendance and stuff, just kind of amateur, realistically, in terms of, we've had the World Cup out here early in the year, and you got to see all these sort of random countries, we don't know who the players are for, the women's team for Russia or something, just random countries, but they're packing out stadiums. Meanwhile, we've got the elite of our sport in rugby league, and you're not really getting any crowds. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments section below, what are your thoughts on the Pacific Nations Test tournament, whatever it was called. New Zealand winning well, 30-0. Let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts? Anyways, if you got this far through the video, obviously you did enjoy it somewhat. Maybe my opinion's controversial, I don't know, but I thought I'd just throw it out there. But if you happen to enjoy this one, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. So speaking of subscribing too, I've been uploading a lot of EAFC, been uploading it on this channel as well as my second channel. You're seeing it on the screen right now, Mr. Luke FIFA. Go and subscribe to that one as well. Also, my social media is on the screen right now. It's Mr. Luke on YT. Go ahead, give me a follow, give me an ad, do all that sort of stuff. Also, I know I haven't been uploading regularly in terms of rugby league stuff, and that's probably what you have subscribed for. But shout out to everybody who has stayed a member, become a member, super chatted and stuff on the few times I have streamed. Thank you to everybody who has done it over the years as well. Very much appreciated. So yeah, thank you for that. And I'm going to wrap things up here. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more content on the channel, whether it's NRL. We'll be doing it soon. There's going to be things to talk about, so a little bit more NRL stuff coming up. But yeah, stay tuned for more on the channel. I'll see you next time. See ya.